Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith of Smiths in the Black, and if it's Monday, it's the Power Hour, and this is where we get everything done. And every week we do it to make sure everybody's up to speed and what they're doing. And if I got to reiterate my points over and over again, that's what I'm going to do. Make sure you get where you need to be. As always, if you can't make it, you can email your questions in, and then I can answer them for everybody, and it's recorded forever. So there's that. So we know we got a lot of new people. Hopefully, you're able to get through some stuff over the weekend. I got a ton of email because we got a ton of new people, and I said I always like to have people introduce themselves. So I got a little bit of an idea of what your background is, and just to know how it's going. Howdy, and because everybody's different, and I stress this all the time that the strat is not just one way for everybody. People are using it in every different multitude of ways. It customizes itself to your needs. So always know that. And so another thing you're going to hear me say is don't be a wallflower during the day. If you don't understand something, you can ask. I mean, sometimes like on Friday, it was after the big blast off. Did a lot of teaching on Friday. And so everything's recorded, and we're going to start having files of everything. So you can go back to any day, anything, any hour, stuff like that in the future. So that's good. So let me get to it. We got a ton of email. So let's start off with this one. Okay. Thanks for providing so much value, trading community. Yep. How you explain to look at stocks that are either breaking morning highs or lows, previous day's highs or lows? You mentioned that there's a large gap down like yesterday. We should be looking for stocks taking out the previous day's highs, lows, because shorts got what they wanted. But how does that translate into a trade? For example, SPY gap down and firm gap down. So if it takes out the lows from yesterday, does it mean that there will be a continuation because the shorts will be covering into the lows? No. You want to be taking out things, if the market gaps down and starts rallying back, you want to go after anything taking out the previous day's highs. Because everybody who's short, they got what they wanted. The market gapped down, but their stock's going up. They're screwed. Right? They all go underwater as soon as that gets taken out. So we'll always, when the market reverses, should it reverse or stabilize, those are the guys who are in trouble. We go after guys who are in trouble, losing positions, right? So if the market gaps up and starts puking, then you go after anything taking out the previous day's lows, right? Those guys got what they wanted. The market gapped up, but their stock starts taking out the lows. So that's what I mean by that. Next question. Like I said, I got a ton in here, so bear with me. Okay, same question. Got it. Okay. And sorry, there's just so much. There's just so much when I said introduce yourself, so bear with me. Question regarding the midday strat report video. Is there a particular time each day that you post that vid? As soon as I'm done recording it, I'm always doing it 11:30 to 11:45 my time, or 12:30, 12:45 Eastern. Today's vid you mentioned plays Domino's Pizza, Ulta, among others, but I do not see them on today's tweet gap list or observations. Are these tickers you review every day, or do you put these radar? Is there a reason why you review tickers not on the gap list or observations? Well, for some cases they're crapping out, or we already know about it, and I'm trying to find some more. So there's no secret sauce there. It's just like midday. I get to do some research and try and track stuff down for us. So the stuff that's already up there, we already know about that, right? We go through the gappers in the morning before the opening, and keep you posted on the 30s and 60s during the day. And so everybody's going to be different, right? Some people are going to stay right on that. Sometimes I say it's okay to call the audible and wait until I do that. Then I know what's going on. Okay. So a lot of these, this questions for, okay, let me see. I'm a long-only position trader and like to buy monthly pivot machine gun strategy, Sarah Santino concept that makes sense to me. She's looking for 5 more consecutive monthly lower highs and then wait for a month that takes out the previous high like the picture shown. Okay, ARMK. If you guys have questions, you can start typing them in here too. I just got to get through all this email, and I'm probably going to miss some, so I'll have to go back. But okay, so monthly coming back through these guys. There you go. There you go. Uh, okay, when the high of the previous month is taken out, it did on the chart. I will enter on the weekly or daily reversals with full time frame. That's good because I look for the broadening formations in the charts. Are the lines drawn well? Well, here's the thing about it is that yeah, you're right. I mean, higher high and lower low. You can draw it like that. The thing is, you don't. It's not a pattern per se. It's a phenomenon that ranges get tested on both sides, right? So oftentimes you won't see the top of the try. Like, where is it? I'm like, it's coming. Boom, come right back through there, right? Because you still have a bunch of price discovery because these guys are all stuck in these two, right? Back and forth she goes. So, as I will only go long, must I take into consideration what the indices are doing? Yes. Especially if the stock is in that indice, right? Whatever it might be. Uh, do you think to add fundamentals can improve the rewards? No. I mean, that's not my job. So, I mean, you can. I mean, for you, if you're an investor, you may want to um, use the strat to time what companies you'd want to buy, and you can do that if you want. But as far as the results, price action's the price action. As we've seen with stuff like GameStonk, it's worth nothing. It goes to 300. Um, and my idea is the initial small position, then add another one as levels get taken out. That's good. Yep. Add to that winner. You betcha. You bet your bippy. Okay. And I got another question about when I ring the triangle, what does that mean? Right? That means you're gonna have you got a two coming, right? We know that's coming. So if you go like the diamonds on Friday, you what that tells you is you have an inside bar on the broader averages, right? That tells you that you either have a 3-1-2 coming or a 2-1-2 reversal or continuation is coming, or at least an attempt to do that. So you remember on Friday, the diamond rally did this here. Down two, inside, boom, off she goes. There's your reversal. That's what you're looking for. That would have gotten you in on Friday for a big portion of that rally, right? Because you'll see that in like similar on the monthly here. 2-1-2, called the pandemic low and the diamonds and SPY and all that kind of stuff. So that's common and that's actionable. So oftentimes we will have, how's it going, man? Oftentimes we will have a bias on which we want that way to break. Based on other time frames and what's going on, where you might hold off for a rev strat as opposed to taking it. But that's what that means. And so that also is broader average. So you might get that to move the stocks, right? That's why we want to know about that. Let me see. Okay, next question. Lots of people, including yourself, talk about tight stops, but they were killing me. Fees, commissions, slippage, and the emotional cost of losing all the time. I mostly trade stock. I found the trailing the stock by ATR to perform much better in back tests in the last 2 weeks of trading. Got some green weeks. Okay. Could it be tight stops are best for guys? Well, see, the reason is that I say that is so I know that you know what you're doing, right? If you're getting stopped out, at least you're getting in there, and then you can tell me what you're doing, right? And then we can figure out what's going on, right? But I teach the tight stop because I don't want anybody getting murdered right out the chute, right? You can loosen it up. You just got to know why you can loosen it up. Time frame continuity, you still have magnitude, stuff like that. So that's why I teach that, right? I'd rather have you get stopped out than get murdered. And then if you're losing, stop trading, right? Don't lose learning how to do this, right? There's no sense in that. That's learning the hard way, and it's not learning, to tell you the truth. All that does is make you scared and worse. So if you just stop trading and then observe for a while, say, okay, here's what I'm doing wrong, and then you bring it to me. Say, here's what I did, and here's where I got stopped, where I got stopped out. And that's why you'll hear me talk about simultaneous breaks so much, right? That's what we want, right? Ideally, we want simultaneous breaks. Everybody breaking in the same direction, right? And that's a much higher probability setup than a lot of people are used to going through charts and trying to find like their favorite one. And I was like, here's my 1,000 favorite setups, and then stick with that and be like, look, the market and the sectors is going to go in the direction of the most twos, right? Or failed twos going three, right? So like last week, we knew, and last month, we knew energy. Everybody was a two up, right? Pretty much, everybody was a two up in the on the monthlies, right? And the fangers, we had all those 3 2 2s that I pointed out. Boom, still good, right? Just ran out of time. So that was a simultaneous break in the energies, and that's why we talked about it so much. Said here it is. Whoop, there it is. Get. All right. And let's see if there's anything else I can get. That's an intro. Okay, let's see here. I got a ton of intros, so bear with me on those. Uh, okay, no question there. That's good. Uh, okay, new to the strat, but not to trading. Just got to unlearn a lot of junk. I know that one. My new day job starts at 11 a.m. Eastern, leaving me with a maximum of 90 minutes from the open to get in and get out of positions. A day trade common stocks. What would you recommend I do in terms of time frame and universe? Um, guess I could do some crypto and stuff like sure. And so what I would say is then what you'd want to do is try and jump on those 30s or 60 reversals, two tours, and uh, and if you can check back in before the market closes, you'll see people that'll do those and then just set it and forget it. Create the winning position and then get your stop in there and just let it go, play out for the rest of the day. That's what I would do. Oftentimes you get chopped up in the middle of the day and you get bored and stuff like that. So if you can create the winning position, that keeps you in those keep a goingers, those ones that don't stop all day. Where you go, oh man, I got out way too early. No, right? Just stop by at the end of the day. It only takes a few good ones, right? Let's see, more questions. Okay, let me see. Oop, another one. Okay. Question. I noticed on Friday the 15-minute bar flip at 10 a.m. provided a massive reversal in almost all charts. Is it good to check every 15 minutes or continue the 30-60? Or use all three, even 15? You can do that. Because what you're going to hear me say is always, if this works, right, what will that create? What's the next two? What will that create negator do? So if the 15 is going to trigger something on the 30s and 60s, you bet you can. Be like, this is going to be a reversal on the 15, and if that works, it triggers 30 or 60. Also, is it a good idea to place buy stop limit orders for very fast moving stocks like Myrna? Probably not, because you're probably not going to get filled. And you don't have to go after things that are flying around either. You can hold off until them 30, 60 slow it down. Slow it down, man. Right? Because I know people can get caught up in that. When I'm talking fast and things are moving, and I'm like, just take it easy. Just take it easy. Don't be in a hurry to lose. Okay. Everybody clear so far? I think that's it for those guys. But I've got a ton. Hello? I got a ton of email to get there, so it's going to take a while. It's going to come in on the weekend, and I just had to get that video out and some other things. Okay. So, Art, what say ye? Trading the second half of the day because we have more info and targets to shoot for when going back through the range. Morning are real fast. Yep. And just that's why I'm always like patience, man. And then today it just kind of stumbles along. So be it. Right. great thing about the strat and magnitude is like it doesn't take very many of these to cover your knot. You just got to be patient and wait for them to set up. And can gappers be traded using the 5 and 10 minute? Oh yeah. It's just not everybody's that fast with hotkeys and able to get in and know to get out. But oh yeah, you can. There's people who trade them off the 1 minute. That's why I'll be calling out those 3 and 5s on the opening. There's people doing that. Just not for everybody. And so the faster you are, the more aptitude you have per the strat. You can trade on any time frame. It's just a matter of whether that's you or not. But you certainly can. Sometimes you get them juicy fivers, 2-2 reversal fivers right out the chute when they duck and run. Right? Sometimes it's the fiver right out the chute. And that makes sense? And must we look for broadening formation trading the gappers? Yeah, always. We want to know where we are. And that's why you'll hear me say back through the try she goes or exhaustion risk. Right? We prefer back through the try she goes because then you have more pivots to take out. But it doesn't mean that, gapping into the highs can definitely come reverse and puke. Right? Like here in SPY last week. Boom. Back through the try she goes. Where's it going, Rob? Down here. Did it? It did. Did we know about that? We sure did. We sure did. And Friday, COG was inside day setup. Would we have preferred up because month and week were green or down because exhaustion risk? Well, either way, just didn't go. Market was too strong. Isn't that right? Why is that not showing today? Hold on. That's weird. For some reason it's not showing today. That's strange. SPY today, COG. What's going on here? For some reason it's not showing today. But either way, because it's a Friday and it's brand new and end of the week and all that kind of stuff, you can go either way on those. Profit takey or keep a going or and also you would be watching that with the rest of the energy sector. What are they doing? Right? Are you seeing a simultaneous break where they're all reversing on a Friday or not? Right? Because for the month, everybody's up, but you ran out of month. But you still had a bunch of magnitude on those things per the weekend vid. And last question, what would you use for time frame continuity of trading in the 5 and the 10? 60, 30, 15, 5. That's where you hear me say every hour is like a new day to us, right? So your benchmark would be your 60. I want to know what that group is doing. And I work during market hours. Should I be trading futures, crypto? Anything that sets up, you can do it. Yep. Trade some of that crypto. Mm-hmm. Yep. And futures, sure. You bet. Okay. Well, the way I have SPY drawn is at the bottom of a broadening formation on the monthly, weekly, and daily. Well, it did what it was supposed to do. These became an outside bar of that. That's true. The thing is, the monthly was 3. If we're below that, that thing's still being rejected. That's why we focus on that real. Hmm. That's something I want to know about. CTRA. Okay. The heck? Uh, Whatever makes them happy. Okay. So that's why we're watching this, because if we can, the question is continuity. Can you get back into this try, and can you change that continuity back green? Then we're back to the try she goes. Then you can machine gun these guys on the week and go right back up, or these guys. But we don't have evidence of that yet. Haven't had a nice 3-2 since pandemia. Tick. That was awesome. All right, you're welcome. Um, get out of that try? Yeah, something like microchip. What I was talking about, I think, over the weekend. Here. Was it back through the try she go? Or trying to expando puker? We got our answer, at least on Monday. Now it's a matter of follow through. Right? Which triggers this, the 2 up, 2 down monther. In the case of the reverse, though, we can't be certain if it goes all the way to the top of the try, could we? We can be certain that if we don't have a reversal against us, that's where it's going, because we know that phenomenon exists. So we watch, if there's no reversals, that's where it's going. So here, once this went 3-2 down, there was no reversal on this thing. That's a 2 down, that's a 1, that's a 2, and that's a 2. No reversal against you, that's still good. And if that works, it takes out the month and triggers the 2-2 monther. Right? So, any ones we should be playing if they're on the gapper list? Yeah. 2-1-2 reversal is a good one. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The gap up, go inside and puke. Stall out. Because you know when you're long a stock that gaps up, the tendency is to want to sell it. We know that. Okay. Could you draw the QQQ hourly? Sure. So QQQ, triangle the out and triangle the out, puke, right? 3-2. She's getting a little ugly over here, right? So on the 60, that looks like that's too high. Right chin cha. Yeah. Expando or back through the try she goes. It's also when things occur matters, right? When you're coming back through previous ranges. Like right now we're at the beginning of the month. Here you go. The inside 60 close. Pew. Boom. Back through the try she goes. Ugh. Because that's a valid signal. We knew about that too. And also, another way to get in on this stuff when it gaps down like that, you wait for that slight pop up. Then, as soon as that continuity changes back down, that's a continuity entry. You can slam it right there. As soon as it goes back red, pops up a little bit, comes in, boom. See ya. Drop the bomb on him. And to clarify what the gap list is for, are we looking to go against the direction of the gap? Not necessarily. Volatility, yes. You can go either way. So that's why we'll have some sort of a bias, depending on where it's gapping. That's why I go through them in the morning. Sometimes they're not actually gappers. They're just still moving around in a big range. That's something I'd want to know about too. But we want to look to see if there's reversals back in the direction of the gap or against it. We'll go either way because there's a shock to the system in there. Somebody's happy and somebody's very sad. It has to do something. And for no reversal, do you mean no reversal on the time frame? No, just major ones. Would it be okay to hold through an hourly reversal if we bought on a 2-2 daily reversal? Yes, you can do that. If you have time frame continuity on everything else, you bet. It's we know they're going to try they out. So long as you stay at a profit, right? You want to have you stay at a profit because then if you can get another reversal back in your direction, that's where you look to add to it. Say, okay, we stopped out some tight stop guys. They're gone. Then you get another signal back in your direction. You can buy more. Add to it. And Ampy. Because we're always basing how much evidence that we have. Do we have a simultaneous break? When is this occurring? Is it sector-wide? Is it market-wise? Yeah. Spy. Like I said, it's not a pattern, it's a phenomenon. So all you're trying to do is identify an outside bar that isn't there. Here to there is an outside bar of all of this. Because we know that happens. And then back through the try she goes, here's my reversal. The 2-2 reversal, and then boom, boom, take them all out, machine gunner style. So how do we get out of that? I mean, you get a little bit of sideways action, you get that try to move down a little bit further, and puke. Hopefully. uh, and so depending on how long you've been with me, it's like you'll notice a difference if you're on Twitter or whatever. Like last month, all the whining and crying. It's like you've never seen an outside month before. All these make the dipper guys get killed. I just buy the dip, do you? It's bad. And Fred's still trying to figure out Ampy. Ampy what? Diamond spine Qs? Sure. And the reason you can do that is because you can gauge them against each other, see who's strong and who isn't. So today the diamond stayed inside. Spine Q's not so fortunate. Diamond's inside day. But don't be shy and jumping in on the simultaneous breaks either. That's really what we're looking for. We want to have as much evidence on our side as we possibly can. And then that's when people are like, can you swing it? And I was like, last month in the energy, you bet you could. You bet you could. Can you recommend anything we can do to help master your universe faster? Yeah, I mean, you can just stay on the gappers. I'm good with that. Or holding off until strat time report, where I've got some things narrowed out, what they're doing. Sit them tykes down. Just hit some keys. Start hitting some keys. Make yourself useful. Still trying to figure out what ampy means. Is that a stock? Ampy? Amplify energy puker? Yeah. And ours says I took all the stocks between 5 and 75 from each S&P sector and have them all on one watch list and can sort through them based on percentage change. I also have each sector I can drill into. All of this is in the trading view. Yeah. So when Rob says energy, just pull up your energy page. Oil spill company, pig. Baba, Baba pig. Baba's pig. Baba's been having a tough time. You have a tough time getting a monthly signal out of this, but if you can get that green, then we talk. Baba's still been having a tough time. You take the Baba monthly out, you're gonna see this. Yikes! 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 So, because the thing about Baba, unless you can try and get a 3 out of that weaker, you're still Momo shooting into the lows as far as I know. A couple of stocks from each sector depends on what the break is. Is it a monthly break for everybody? Is it in the broader averages? What is it? Because if it's sector specific, you can go after all of them. Get your grubby little hands on as many as you can. Like in the oil, if you had the oils last month, and the ones that don't stop you out, and by the end of the month, all you are is long and strong. That LPI, boom. Get boy. Get me some LPI, get me some FANG. And just keep moving your stops up, and by the end of the month, all you got left is the strongest. didn't, didn't mean to scare ye Baba people. Not saying, I'm just saying. Sometimes they go a little bit. And I noticed many times inside 30 minutes and 60 minutes bar will break up or down by 1 or 2 cents, then back in range. Was the right time to enter the break, and when should a reversal trade be considered? Depends on everything else that's going on. Like I said, I'd have to see it. Why are we taking this one? Because if you still have reason to stay in it, like everything else is working, it's just micro you can stay in. Just I want to teach you that so you don't get yourself in too much trouble. Like Sarah likes to use 50% of the bar because she knows if it doesn't cross that, it's still a 2 in the right direction. Ampy, whatever they're doing, they ain't doing it very well. So you don't have a reversal up. The good thing is you got an outside month already. It's already a 3. 1 to 3 can't not be, but you're disseminating this gap. So you'd have to have some sort of reversal. Go inside tomorrow and then break back up on Wednesday, 2 up. Because you're still green on the week because it's happened on a Monday. So if you can come back through these guys, maybe. But it might just meander and rot away down here, depending on how bad this news is. Down goes Baba Pig. Baba Puker. Because what you've been seeing over there, simultaneous breaks continuous in China, puke. There's JD today, puke. Puking through here. Yep. Puke. puke. And if that works, I'm going to trigger that baby, the 2-2-monther from the weekend vid. And down she goes. Okay. There you go. Cute footies. Extended hours? You can, certainly. That's why oftentimes you'll hear me say when I'm going through the gappers in the morning, it's been higher, right? And if they paid up, they might do it again. Right? But I won't. I don't have the extended hours up because of how much I'm watching. But I'll be aware of it, like when we're looking through gappers and stuff like that, where it's been. But because I'm watching so much, I'm just for myself. I just keep it to the cash set. But that doesn't mean you have to, especially when earnings come out and all that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, you don't got to wait for the cash to open. Strat's the strat. No matter what time of day it is, if it's trading, it's stratting. What's the best way to find a sector with this wheel? Let's pull up the old Scanneroo. We'll make the occasional scanning videos. Talk about it sometimes on the Strat Time report, but let's get my TC2000 up for you. Takes a second here. Just depending on what you have, right? If you pull up, like if you have layouts with sectors on there, with numbers, if you see a massive amount of twos in the same sector, that's probably where you want to be. Right, so today, who's taking out Friday's lows? Pukers. Let's see what we see. Palantir, Facebook, AMD, Nvidia. All right, that's telling me we got some techie in there puking. Snappy, Twitter. All right, that tells me the Qs are in trouble. Right, and they were the one who got hit the hardest, pretty much. SQ. Roku, ZM, all taking out Friday's lows. Yeah, that's a problem. Win, Amazon, eBay. Nah, who's taking out Friday's highs? I'm not even down to. I'm still at 3.5 million shares traded. Nah, who's taking out yesterday's highs? Friday's highs. Exxon, Marathon, Rig, Oxy. What's that telling you? Stuff we already knew about. Devon Energy, EQT, Halliburton, Chevron. What's that telling you? Conoco. It literally screams at you when you run scans like that, right? Do I look at 15-minute charts differently when they're coming into a flip? A little bit, because you got exhaustion on the 60. And that's why I tell people when you're looking at the gappers, or almost anything really, you want to go through your universe 20 minutes after the hour and 10 minutes before the top of the hour to see if you got some 30-60 combos set up. And so then, I look at this on a monthly basis, weekly basis, right? That'll tell you where you want to look, right? Pretty obvi. Even if I had no charts, I could have told you what happened today. Nasdaq got pounded and energy was up again. See? wouldn't we already know that if an ETF is very green or red, it should be indicative of simultaneous breaks? Yes. Yep. Yep. And why would I go through individual stocks even though if we know the ETF is moving? I want to see how many twos are in there. Do we have more to break? Do we have, are we in exhaustion risk? Are we going into new highs? Where are we? And all that kind of stuff. Is it robust? Is everybody? Because you might have had a big week the previous week, and so you might still be inside. Just gives me the concentration. Okay. Friday's highs, well, if it's all in one sector, that's a simultaneous break, yeah. But the market was tanking, right? So there's kind of a lot of those things just stalled out, but good old buddy CPE, get boy, still climbing that mountain. Get. So here we also know we're dealing with exhaustion risk by going into recent highs, right? We do know that. Triangle out, inside 60, back up. End of the day. Also, depending on how the ETF is weighted, right? You might just have a few, and you have sacrificial lambs that aren't going, right? But the heavily weighteders are taking it up with it. So I also want to see if it's everybody, because that tells us what institutions are doing. They're buying anything that has a drop of oil. They don't care about the name. Anybody. And so everything's going to reconfirm or negate, right? So tomorrow we uncouple, meaning it's the first time of the month that we're going to have four separate openings for the monthly, weekly, daily, and 60. That's more information. That's good. And so that's why you've heard the term turnaround Tuesday. That happens all the time. That's what we're always looking for. And what that normally does is change the continuity. Not necessarily, but that changes it on a Tuesday, which means anybody who tried to do something on Monday was failing, getting it handed to them. So that's why we sometimes kick back on Monday, let them open, see what they're doing. So right now we know if they go up, we're looking for energy, and if they go down, tech, and I want that stuff so far. And that's why the second hour reconfirms the first hour of the day. That's why some people hold off on that. Let them jostle for position. Why we trade less on Mondays usually. Let them open. Then we go after the guys who are getting screwed on Tuesday or the guys who came back, right? So would be good for the energy going up again tomorrow. That tells me that they were buying hand over fist last month, and they're still back. They came in on Monday to buy, and they came back on Tuesday. That's good. And for TC2000 hammer shooters, usually I'd say it's open and close in the higher or lower 30%, 33%. And when could you have gone after SPY today? Continuity entry on the 60. See how it opened and rallied back, and then boom! As soon as that thing went back red, that takes your 60 daily, weekly, and monthly all red in one shot and puke. Because we're looking to take these guys out, which we did, and then it stalled out. But you could take that continuity level right there. See if there's anything on the shorter time frame, 30. Might have had to hit it twice. Popped up again and then BAM! See ya. But it was a little fast. I went the 15er. Three two puker. Nice 3-2 stir. Ugh. Accuser, you're a loser. A little bit faster, you can get right there. Boom. Ugh. Where's it going? Down there. If an entire sector is red, but one ticker is hold out in that sector, is that an opportunity or warning? That could be opportunity. You got buyers in there. If everybody's tanking, that stock's going up, you got buyers in there. That's good. No matter how long they're going to stay at it. One of these things is not like the other. That's why I like to sing that song. And that's where some people are like, I'm going to go after this one because I think it's going to catch up. And I'm like, it's a loser, dude. They're selling it. Pound that thing. Those guys are crying. Those guys are crying. The whole sector's up and your stock is down and you think that thing's going to turn around. You're out of your mind. CPNG on the 60 did not hit magnitude. Huh? Yep. A little exhaustion risk going into the lows. Huh? Yeah, it just ran out of time. Still might do it. Hasn't had a reversal back up. Still might do it. Remember, we always want to get in the heads of the guys on the other side of the trade, right? It's like when if like you have a stock and it gaps up and you freak out and think you got to sell it right away. You don't. The guy on the short side's got to do something. You don't. Doesn't mean you don't get out if it starts tanking on you, but you don't have to. You don't have to do anything when you're in a winning position. Losing guys do, and that's why we're always using participation groups against each other, saying that if this works, it triggers these guys. Now these guys go underwater, and if that works, now these guys go underwater. One of our newer favorite analogies is the porch is falling down, and if that porch falls, it's gonna hit that porch. It's that porch that's gonna take those guys out. Boom, boom, boom. There's your pivot machine gun to the downside. This turns these guys into losers. This turns these guys into losers. They all gotta do something. Hopefully they blow it out on the low into exhaustion risk. Because when you're losing on the long side, you can buy more, you can just get out, you can sell some, or you can ignore it. Usually the guys that ignore it are the ones who blow it out on the low. I think Kroger stayed inside day on you, didn't it? Yep, Kroger stayed inside day. And that's when you get this mother bar issue in here. Choppy, choppy. These guys are an inside buyer of these two on the 60. Yeah, combination's really starting to stand out. Yep. Get in on the day, then takes the week red. A weekly reversal, then a monthly. Yep, and hold for core positions. You bet you can. Still good. We got some big boys in there. The big boy pants. That's what we like. And once again, I got a ton of intro emails, which I appreciate. Just bear with me on getting through them. So we got Added a lot of new folks, which is always makes me happy. Spy. So you can see this is where we get that exhaustion. You're like, well, they just kill them already. Went down and then rallied back, but didn't make the higher high on Friday over Thursday. And then you come in today and boom, take that out. But then the sellers didn't step down. It's kind of just sat there. Okay, ALNY hit magnitude today. There you go. ALNY did its job, albeit Doge land. But you can see that. Did we know about this one? We sure did. Your 2-1-2 reversal. Do you have a reversal against you? No. Nope. Nope. Where's it going, Rob? Up there. These guys are an outside bar of all this now. If that works, you might get that 3-2 triangle expando weaker. So another reason we could expect that SPY to stall out, energy didn't give it up. If energy started giving it up, then we'd talk a little bit more of a haymaker. But good, good. Yeah. Michael doing some good work here. We're working hard. It only gets better. Okay. I see. I'm sorry. I missed on this one question. Was I can only show the opening and I have to get out. Eee. It'd be nice if you could move your stop once. But you can just go after still go after 30-60 reversals. Just can't do what I was saying before and just get your stop in there and let it rock. Unless you have a friend that can put some buttons for you. All I need you to do is flatten me out at the end of the day. That's it. And also for newer folks, you don't have to do the scanning. So if you're all nervous about what you're scanning for, I'm pretty much the scanner. Yeah, get the course, get through that. Come here with questions. No, because we get you up to speed, so you know what a buy is, and you know what a sell is. If you don't, then don't do anything. Right? This is what buys look like. This is why. This is where. This is where it's going. Magnitude, all that kind of stuff. Yep, and Sarah going to be on YouTube tonight too, so you got more. I even tweeted that out. Everybody's different, so every trade's not suitable for everybody to do. Some people are never going to be on a 1 minute chart. Some people are not going to be on a 5 minute on the openings. Others, that's all they do. So we teach you to know, totally, thoroughly understand why you're getting in something. Why would this work? And when I say inside 60-minute gorilla rings a triangle, that means you've got you've got something coming. Either a 312 or a 212 is coming in those broader averages, right? That can move the market. The course is free if you're here for an annual. So, Candy, that means you got a 2 coming, right? Question is, how powerful is it going to be? And that's where we're looking at all the internals. But you got a reversal or a continuation attempt coming, for sure. Yeah, you have to, because you went inside. So oftentimes we'll have a bias on which way we want it to break because of all the other things that are going on. That's what that's for. So if you're on the pooper or something, it's time to wipe and get back out here because it's game on, baby. Wake you up. Game on. And sometimes that's when we'll get a simultaneous break too. If all 4 of them are going inside, it's potentially a simultaneous break too. And the SPY, because we're just below the monthly trigger, do we work for a setup back down? We would like to puke, yes. We would prefer to puke, but we can go either way, because if you come up and start taking these guys out, now you triangle day out, and then you got your machine gun this way. Change that weak back green. Now you got a mountain to climb up here, but once a 3, always a 3 can't not be. This is a broadening formation, right? The question is, it's still expanding, or is it completed and going back up? And that's what we'll be monitoring for the month. Like he's saying in the vids, the lows of these 3s are very important here. The rest of the month, and we're sitting right on it. So the question is, if they step down, so far, they wanted to hit the tech a little bit worse so far. So far, they came back in to buy energy. So we'll gain a little bit more information tomorrow. Uncoupling. Yeah, everything's a sequence, right? When is this occurring? If this does that, what will that cause? Right? So you got a pretty high mountain to climb here, but you could easily go inside on a Tuesday and then go 2-1-2 on a Wednesday and go ripping, or continue to puke. Keep puking. Take them all out. Let's go down to here. Take them all out. Pandemic lows. If I trade on the 5 and 15 minute, which time frame do I do the broadening formations? Daily? No, you want to know where they all are. Where are you in everything? Because that's when you can turn those small trades into bigger ones. This thing's still good on a weekly basis. But knowing your magnitude, at least on those smaller times, definitely. Okay. Well, we're coming up on an hour here. I like to keep it right around there. We do it every Monday. So if you have notes and, like I said, questions, you can email them. Facebook's back up. All right. Some guy on Twitter is saying, I think it looks like it's gone, dude. Now we can go back to wishing happy birthday and telling people how beautiful they are. So on that note, let me get this set up on the YouTube as fast as I can here. And like I said, we do it every Monday. Make sure you get it. Make sure you get it. The only stupid question is the one goes unasked. Because trust me, I've answered them all a million times, and I'll do it again just to make sure everybody gets it. So on that note, bear with me on the emails. Everybody have a wonderful night, and see many of you in the morning. All right. Good night.